Hey guys, so as promised, here is my updated 3DS collection of 2014. My 3DS collection has doubled from 15 to 30. Because I have so many, of course I haven't been able to play all of them. Some of them are still in their shrink wrap. But I do want to get around to playing my 3DS games. The 3DS this year hasn't had as many great games as it had last year, but there are a lot of standouts that continues to propel the 3DS as a handheld console with great quality exclusive experiences. I will showcase each of my games in alphabetical order, starting off with Animal Crossing New Leaf. I remember in my top 5 3DS videos of last year, I said I didn't really get into this. I still haven't really touched it since last year, but I do recognize it as a great time sucker and great quality game, but it's just not for me, and that's why I don't really touch it that much anymore. From there we have Boulder Dash XL 3D. I mainly picked this up because it was only $10 on Amazon or something like that, and I have played the original Boulder Dash, so I wanted to try out that gameplay again. But after playing it for about an hour, I can see why it was so cheap. It's not a game that really has that much replay value to it, but it's still a good game to have in my collection. I also picked up Brain Age Concentration Training. It's still sealed. I got this on clearance at Kmart for about $10. I am a big fan of the Brain Age games, and I heard this wasn't the best entry, but it's still an interesting game to try out. I do like testing my mind and stuff, and hopefully this can provide some entertainment value for the price I paid. So this game is probably the best RPG this year on the 3DS, and that is Bravely Default. I really haven't played such a classic turn-based RPG since Etrian Odyssey 4 last year, so I'm glad I really delved into this. And even though midway through this game there's this big event that really didn't make sense for me, I do still acknowledge it as a great RPG and a great video game to pick up this holiday season. This game I haven't played yet, but I've heard it's mixed among a lot of people, and that is Castlevania. I do know this isn't like a traditional Castlevania game where you go through a castle and find weapons and level up and all that stuff. It's more of a God of War-esque kind of battle system, but it does look interesting. I just want to check it out, see for myself if it's really what all the other people say it is. So this is a great reimagining of the game, Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D. I do not have the Wii version, but I thought this would be a good substitute, and I know a lot of people agree. They added another world which has a ton of really difficult but challenging and rewarding levels to play. I didn't really take advantage of the easy system that they were putting in place, but I'm glad it's there just for people who do complain about the difficulty a lot. Since the sequel of this game, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, is my favorite platformer of this year, it can tell you how much I do like these types of games. This is still sealed. I showed it off in my previous pickups video, and that was Etrian Odyssey Untold, the Millennium Girl. I really loved Etrian Odyssey 4, and this is supposed to be like a remastering with using the Etrian Odyssey 4 game engine of the first Etrian Odyssey game. Drawing maps and going through the dungeon in first person and even unveiling the story is really a fun time that I had with the 4th entry, so I can't wait to try out this entry into the Etrian Odyssey series. And speaking of Etrian Odyssey, I have Etrian Odyssey 4, Legends of the Titan. One of the best RPGs in my opinion on the 3DS right now. I think it does surpass Bravely Default for me just because it had a consistent difficulty and fun throughout. This is in my top 5 most played 3DS games of all time. I've put about like 70 hours into this. Just because I've had so much fun with this, I can't wait to play Etrian Odyssey Untold. This game did come with the music CD and design book, so I'm glad Atlas still does that kind of stuff, and I'm glad I picked it up when it was still available for that combo. So after some thought about my top 5 list of 3DS games last year, I put this at number 2, but Over time, I think I would put this as number 1, and that is Fire Emblem Awakening. I revisited this game. I played it on the true difficulty, where if you die forever, and it really offered a fresh, new, great take. And if I can replay a game and have a fun time with it without any repetitiveness or boredom or tedium, this really deserves people's playtime. Yes, I would rank this as my favorite game of last year on the 3DS, and I did say this introduced me to a ton of other 3DS games, and I'm also eternally grateful for that as well. Please pick it up and please play it, because I was kind of hesitant at first, since I didn't really like the insta-death feature when I first heard about this game. And I did have Fire Emblem Sacred Stones on the Game Boy Advance, and that really turned me off of the series, since I didn't like that mechanic. But knowing that there was a way to turn that off in this game really opened up my love for the series, and then it made me actually try the insta-death feature, and I loved it even more. So yes, please pick this up. It's a great buy. And then from there, I got Kid Icarus Uprising, and I did get it with the 3DS stand, which is really helpful since your hands do cramp when you do shoot. Like many others, I did have difficulty using the controls of this game, but after some time you can get used to it. And after you do get used to it, this game really provides a unique take on the shooting adventure genre. Another game I have that I haven't played but my brother has is Kirby Triple Deluxe. I do have Kirby Squeak Squad and Kirby Mass Attack on the DS, and this returns to the classic platforming goodness that is Kirby. Even though he's pink and round and people call him a kitty character, I think he's one of the most heartless killers of our generation. I do place this game at number 2 from last year, and that is Zelda: Link Between Worlds. A great reimagining of the Zelda formula, where you get to choose your dungeons, buy your critical items, and meld into walls, which is a really creative puzzle mechanic as shown here. I really recommend this for fans of adventure games in general, not only Legend of Zelda fans. I did get Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D. I haven't played the original Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time on the N64, so this was a fresh game for me, and I really wish I did play it on the N64, since this is one of the best adventure games, and I can sense why a lot of people rate this as the best game of all time, just because it really paved the way for 3D adventure games. I got Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. I haven't played the GameCube Luigi's Mansion, but I wish I had, because this really is a creative and fun adventure game that Luigi can star in. Its puzzles aren't that challenging, but it's the way that they're designed that really makes it fun to solve. This is one of my top 5 favorite games of last year, and I really recommend it for anybody who wants to try the Luigi's Mansion. I got this for cheap, and that's Shinobi. I heard it's a hard platformer, but I'll be the judge of that. I know there's a way to, I think, to ease the difficulty, but I'll probably try it on hard mode just to see how difficult it is. But I still have a big backlog of games, so I can't really touch it. I have Super Mario 3D World. I think the best 3D Mario game on any handheld. The level design is superb, and this really reimagines the whole 3D formula, and it even translated really well on the Wii U as well with Super Mario 3D World. So, great game, I really recommend it, one of the best games of 2012. And another Mario game I have is Mario & Luigi Dream Team. A lot of people complain that this wasn't the best Mario & Luigi game. I have played the past 2, Bowser's Inside Story and Superstar Saga. This isn't as good as Superstar Saga. I think it's better than Bowser's Inside Story, just because I didn't really get into that game that much. And many people think it's one of the more kiddie RPGs, but I think it's a great challenge as well. I like the mixture of platforming as well as RPG into the game. So this game came out the same day that Kirby Triple Deluxe did, and that is Mario Golf World Tour. I haven't really played any other Mario Golfs in the series, so this is a new game for me. I think the main problem with me in sports games is that it gets really repetitive, and obviously the level is just one level, it's the field. But in this, each golf course has unique level design that really makes me interested in the whole golf aspect of the game. I haven't really delved into the online. I heard there's a lot of tournaments and stuff, and it's pretty fun, but I have a lot of games to finish, so I really had to put this down for that. So this game I didn't open, and that is Mario Island Tour. I got this part of the Best Buy buy one get one 3DS game for free, and I mostly got this because I know my family would love to play this, and a lot of people complain that this isn't good because they don't have anybody to play it with, but since I do, maybe this will be a good game. But we'll see. I wish they did have online features into this game. I feel like it's really outdated for Nintendo to neglect online for games such as this. I did pick up Nano Assault for cheap, $14.99, but I had a gift card for like $10, so it dropped to $5 or something like that. I do have Nano Assault Neo on the Wii U, and this is a great kind of Nano Assault game where you just shoot down viruses in the cell and purify cells and stuff. It's a great shooter and really reminiscent of classic shooters back in the day. So this Pokemon game is the first 3D one. Pokemon X really opened up the world of Pokemon in this whole new light that we've never seen it before, and I really love it for that reason. Not the best Pokemon game in the series. I felt like there wasn't that much new Pokemon that was introduced, and there was only like 3 legendaries or 4 legendaries, which wasn't that much for me. But nonetheless, this was a great adventure to go on, and I spent about 40 or so hours. I did want to train my team, but now that a new game came out with a lot of other Pokemon in it, that game feels more of a definitive Pokemon game to me. And that game I'm speaking of is Pokemon Omega Ruby, a great way to use the Pokemon X game engine to advance this really great adventure that has a lot more Pokemon and a lot more challenge to it. This was one of my favorite generations, and even though there was a lot of water in this, which is what a lot of people complain about, I think the revitalization of secret bases as well as fresh new take on Pokemon contests and introduction of new Mega Evolutions really propels this as one of the best Pokemon games on the 3DS. I know a lot of people complain about this game, that's Paper Mario Sticker Star. I haven't really played a classic Paper Mario game, so maybe I'll like it for that reason. I haven't played it yet though, so I can't wait to try it out. I know it's an RPG kind of like Dream Team, but instead of leveling up you have stickers, so we'll see if that ruins the kind of turn-based RPG game. I also got this for pretty cheap, and that's Professor Layton and the Miracle Mask. I have Professor Layton and the Unwound Future. I also have the Last Spectre. I have this one, and I also have the Professor Layton and the Azran Legacy, which is still sealed as well. I haven't really touched them yet. I may want to try to find the first 2 Professor Layton games and play them in order as they were made. If I really can't find the first 2 games, then I might as well just start off with Unwound Future and then go up from there. But I can't wait to try these games since I heard they're great puzzle games. This game people said was pretty boring, and that is Project X Zone. I haven't really touched it since last year. I really haven't even opened or played the opening cutscene or anything. But I really want to see why there's so many mixed opinions on this game. I do like a lot of the characters that they mixed into this universe, so I can't wait to try that out. I did play a lot of this game, and that is Shin Megami Tensei 4. One of the best visually looking games on the 3DS. The amount of demons in this is reminiscent of games like Pokemon where you can battle other demons and stuff. I really like the dark world that this game puts you in. I did buy it with the limited edition set that comes with the soundtrack and strategy and design book. I haven't really used it yet, but it has been helpful with trying to fight some of the difficult bosses in this game. I can't wait to finish this since I've only went through maybe midway through this game and I want to finish it. I got this game for pretty cheap, like $3. Steel Diver. Haven't touched it. Maybe we'll never touch it. I don't know. But it's nice to have in the collection. I have 2 copies of this game, one for me and one for my brother, and that's Super Smash Bros. For the 3DS. I can see how this could be not that great of a game if you're the only one who's playing it, since the online is really laggy. But since I had another person to play it with locally, it was a great introduction to the new era of Super Smash Bros. I also got this game with the soundtrack CD, and that is Theater Rhythm Final Fantasy Curtain Call. I really wanted to get the first Theater Rhythm game, but it was sold out and it's really hard to find a cheap copy of it. But I got this for pretty cheap on Black Friday this year. I wish I did play the first one, since it's a great mixture of rhythm and RPG. So I do want to get more into this, since there's a lot of content that I really haven't experienced yet. And the last game I have is Yoshi's New Island. I'm not really a big fan of this game. I thought the level design would improve, but it really didn't. It was pretty stale overall, but there was still some good platforming, and I like the egg mechanics, and there's a lot of collectibles in this game. Not a bad game, but not the best platforming game on the 3DS. So that is my 3DS collection. I might have a part 2 that shows off my virtual game collection on 3DS. I do have quite a few eShop games. Please check out my Wii U collection. I just posted it yesterday. Also check out my top 5 3DS games of this year, which I'll be posting later. I do have a PS3 collection coming up as well, so check that out. And stay tuned for any other videos I post in the coming weeks. So happy holidays and Happy New Year's.